Theresa May is ready to call Brexit negotiator Michael Barnier's bluff over his claims British banks will get no special deal after the UK leaves the EU in 2019. Prime Minister Mrs May is keen for British financial institutions to retain access to Europe via passporting rights, whereby a firm registered in the European Economic Area (EEA) can do business in any other EEA state without needing further authorization in each country. The loss of such rights would be a serious blow, as more than 5,400 firms use passporting to bring in £9 billion in revenue to Britain. In a speech in November, Mr Barnier said, on financial services, UK voices suggest that Brexit does not mean Brexit. Getty Theresa May is poised to call Michel Barnier's bluff over post-Brexit banking regulations. Getty Jean-Claude Juncker, President of the European Commission, met Mrs May last month. Brexit means Brexit, everywhere. The legal consequence of Brexit is that the UK financial service providers lose their EU passport. This passport allows them to offer their services to a market of 500 million consumers and 22 million businesses. However, two senior officials have since told Bloomberg.com they believe this to be a hollow threat, and that Mr Barnier did not have the backing of the other 27 EU member countries to make such a statement. They believe Mr Barnier was simply setting out an opening position and that London-based banks will benefit from the fact that the EU will need to maintain access to finance following Brexit. With the clock ticking until Britain's scheduled exit from the EU in May 2019, the pressure is on to work out a deal which ticks all the boxes in terms of free trade, immigration, the rights of EU citizens, and the future of London's financial district. In December, Mrs May and Jean-Claude Juncker, President of the European Commission, shook hands on a deal to begin talks after apparently resolving a thorny disagreement about the border between Northern Ireland and the Irish Republic, but significant hurdles remain, as demonstrated by Mr Barnier's blunt claims over passporting. Getty Brexit Minister David Davis wants a Canada plus deal. Mrs May and her political allies have been bullish in the face of his pronouncements, with the PM predicting in December that UK financial services should be optimistic about trade talks. She has also cited Polish counterparts Mateusz Morawiecki and Paolo Gentiloni as being open to the idea of Britain forging a bespoke trading relationship which covers financial services. Meanwhile, Brexit Minister David Davis has talked about a Canada plus deal along the lines of the free trade deal struck between the North American country and EU, characterizing it as Canada plus the best of Japan, the best of South Korea and that bit that is missing, which is services. Friday, October 20, 2017, Emmanuel Macron holds a press conference on the second day of European Council meetings. Just because financial services have not been encompassed in free trade agreements to date is no reason to dismiss them from a future UK-EU free trade agreement. Miles Selleck, Chief Executive Officer with the CityUK Miles Selleck, Chief Executive Officer with industry body the CityUK, said, just because financial services have not been encompassed in free trade agreements to date is no reason to dismiss them from a future UK-EU free trade agreement. Services make up around 80% of the UK's economy, and around 70% of the EU's, with financial services making up a significant component of that. It is vital for the future competitiveness of the UK, and Europe as a whole, that UK and EU negotiators work to secure an ambitious and comprehensive deal.